Morning, everybody. I hope you had a great break. Here's the poem for the week, Bookmobile by Joyce Sutphen. Bookmobiles were like basically books in vans or in buses sometimes, and they would go out to, and still do, they're still in existence actually. They go out to rural areas that don't have libraries, and so kids don't really have access to books. A lot of times, sometimes those kids don't even have access to the internet. They live, rural means like out in the country away from cities. So the bookmobiles would go out into those neighborhoods, and sometimes they go into neighborhoods of in cities where there are no libraries, and especially impoverished where kids are poor. So this is a little poem about Joyce Sutphen, about bookmobiles in her childhood and how they provided an escape for her from her life. So when you read it on your own, you'll see that there's notes on the side and pictures of the bookmobiles right here. So I'm going to read the poem for you, and then we'll just talk about a couple things that might help you answer it. So here I go. Bookmobile by Joyce Sutphen. I spent part of my childhood waiting for the Stearns County bookmobile. When it comes to town, it makes a U-turn in front of the grade school and glides into place under the elms. It's a natural wonder of late afternoon. I try to imagine Dante, William Faulkner, and Emily Dickinson traveling down a double-lane highway together, country western on the radio. When it arrives, I have to wait. The librarian is busy getting out the inky pad and the lined cards. I pace back and forth in the line, hungry for the fresh bread of the page. Because I need something that will tell me what I am. I want to catch a book, clear as a one-way ticket to Paris, to London, to anywhere. So I think it's a great poem. It talks in very simple terms about how books can be used to escape your current reality. And she has a couple lines I talk about in the notes. Especially, I love this, hungry for the fresh bread of the page. So if you've ever smelled fresh bread, like you've been driving down Montano and you smell the bakery, you're like, oh, I want that fresh bread, right? You want to eat it right away. You want to put butter or margarine or jam, peanut butter, whatever you want it. You want it now. So I thought that was a great way how she's like really impatient for the fresh bread of the page. And she's looking for a ticket out, right? A one-way ticket means you leave and you never come back. So she's looking for a different place. My guess is maybe doesn't feel like she fits in her rural environment. And the books provide for her a way to something to identify. She says, because I need something that will tell me what I am. She probably does not feel like she fits in her rural environment. And obviously later in life, she became a poet, and a famous poet. So not as famous as Dante Faulkner. And who else does she talk about here? And Emily Dickinson, but well enough known that she's on the radio. So here's your question. How do books provide an escape for from the everyday the way they do for the poet? Note that even if you don't read, you have to answer this question. So some of the things you can think about are maybe books that teachers have read for you, and how do they provide an escape from you, and into what world? If you've ever read something like The Watsons Go to Birmingham, or Elijah of Buxton, or even Long Walk to Water, right? It's a world that's not yours. It's completely different than how you live. And so in what ways do books provide that escape from the everyday life that we lead? So think about that. Email me if you need questions, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.